Hi, my name is Ben Jordan. I'm a distance learning student at Anglia Ruskin University in Cambridge. And what I'm about to present is part of my Introduction to Organisation and Management assignment. As part of our assignment, we have been asked to look into Amazon's work culture and discuss some of the issues that have been raised in the article, discuss the management styles that have been used, and discuss some of the benefits at Amazon. We were given two resources to study. First being a New York Times article published by Jody Kanzer, which you can see here on the left, and secondly is a CBS This Morning interview with Jody Kanzer and Amazon's Senior Vice President for Corporate Affairs, Jay Carney. Before we go into any of the issues that are brought up in the article, I want to quickly discuss Amazon's leadership principles, which is kind of a set of rules for employees at Amazon to kind of follow that kind of inspires leadership within them. We've got customer obsession, ownership, invent and simplify, or write a lot, learn and be curious, hire and develop the best, insist on the high standards, think big, bias for action, frugality, earn trust, dive deep, have backbone to disagree and commit, and to deliver results. Here are some of the issues that employees have raised and have been discussed in the article. Firstly, employees are encouraged to tear apart one another's ideas in meetings. The reason why I think employees are encouraged to do this kind of relates back to one of the leadership principles, which says to have backbone, to disagree and commit, even when doing so is exhausting or uncomfortable. Bo Olson, who was a book marketer at Amazon for 2 years before leaving, said it was a regular sight for him to see people leaving meetings with their heads in their hands, and he said he nearly saw wherever he worked would cry at their desk, which kind of just reiterates how tough Amazon's workplace is. Secondly, unreasonably high standards at Amazon and employees have been unfairly treated, which kind of reiterates the insistence on the high standards at Amazon, which is number 7 of the leadership principles. There's been a lot of issues raised about females being evaluated too quickly after coming back from serious illnesses. There was one lady who was sent on a business trip the day after she miscarried twins. One manager at Amazon told a lady that Amazon wasn't the right place to be starting a family, like if you want to succeed in the company. And another was put on a performance review the day after she returned from having thyroid cancer treatment. Thirdly, there is an unrelenting pace at Amazon, which is kind of just to deliver results non-stop, which is number 14 of the leadership principles. There's sorts of emails arriving past midnight with texts following, wondering why these emails haven't been answered. One employee's fiance said he would call her non-stop until she agreed to come home. And there was also another lady who was working on Amazon gift cards who'd hired a freelancer in India just to input data just so she could get more work done. And she stayed up for 4 days without any sleep. Now moving on to some of the issues that are raised about Amazon's company policies. There's been talks of high attrition at Amazon, which yes is true, but is consistent with other major tech companies in the United States. I carried out some research on my own, and this is due to competitive salaries and robust hiring. The high attrition, there's a median tenure at Amazon, which is 1 year, which is how long Amazon is to stay at the company, and opposed to Google, which is one of its competitors, that's 1.1 years, so they're all kind of like in the same ballpark when it comes to high attrition. And it could be down to something called an organization level review, which is like a rank and yank of its employees. They rank their employees the best to the worst, and anyone who's at the bottom of this kind of gets fired or ushered out of the company. Secondly, in the article, there was the time the article was released, which was in 2015, Amazon didn't have any paternity leave for its fathers, which was also similar to most tech companies in the United States. As soon as the article was released, stating about how so many people disagreed with it, Amazon implemented a new policy which offers paternity leave for new fathers, so dads, adopted parents, and non-birth mothers who have been with the company for a year get 6 weeks of fully paid parental leave, which I think is pretty amazing, which means Amazon as a company are listening to its employees, kind of adapting to it and then offering a solution to it. And thirdly, which is I think is really important, is Amazon's lack of diversity in executive level jobs, including race and gender. Currently, Amazon's board is only 30% women. Amazon's board doesn't have any racial or ethnic minority directors. And they actually, a few months ago in 2018, I think it was in March, they implemented something called the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule is an NFL football term, which is a policy that states that all teams are required to interview at least one minority candidate for a head coaching and senior football operations openings, which is something they're adapting to their company policies. Every time an executive board job is available, they have to hire or at least give a chance to one minority candidate. And this actually came around from when the shareholders were bringing up disagreements with this. They're saying that embracing diversity will benefit companies by providing greater access to talent, harnessing existing talent more effectively, which is by the CTW Investment Group. A lot of employees spoke about the strengths of working at Amazon as well as the issues. Employees often say their co-workers are the sharpest, most committed colleagues they've ever met. Others say who cycled in and out of the company said that what they learned in their brief stints at Amazon helped their careers take off after. Amazonians are highly desirable for their work ethic, and also employees love the innovation at Amazon and love the customer focus at Amazon, which is the number one of the leadership principle, which is customer obsession. All of the issues that I just spoke about, the company policies and the issues that employees have brought up, all of these are what called a hygiene factor, according to clinical psychologist Frederick Herzberg. He said a hygiene factor is something that causes job dissatisfaction. And as you can see from the issues raised, it goes from being the job being too tough to company policies. By eliminating a hygiene factor doesn't actually create job dissatisfaction, job satisfaction just takes away job dissatisfaction. So to create a job satisfaction, you need to implement another rule on top of that. Let me give you a quick example. Amazon had no paternity leave, causing a hygiene factor for new parents. To rectify this, Amazon added a paternity policy, but not only for new dads, but for adoptive parents and anybody who's been at the company for over a year, therefore creating a job satisfaction. And the same goes with the Rooney Rule, which is kind of implementing a diversity in the executive board roles. Now we're going to move on to the management styles that I think are being used at Amazon. We've got Taylorism, human relations, and McGregor's theory, X, which is an authoritarian style of management. The first style of management is scientific management. Frederick Winslow Taylor, also known as Taylorism, was a huge theorist in classical management. Taylorism breaks down every job, action, or task into a small and simple segment that can be taught. And I think this is heavily used in Amazon's fulfillment center. As you can see a photo of it right here. It involves a production line, one guy or one girl standing at the production line doing the same job over and over again. So I still think that's heavily used. Until, let's move on. I also think human relations theory of management is heavily used. Human relations theory is a research belief that people desire to be part of a supportive team that facilitates development and growth, which I think is really important in a huge company like Amazon with 560,000 employees. Especially in fulfillment centers where workers are watched over by smart computers that calculate how many boxes they are packing per hour. I feel like they could implement more of a human relations style approach to this instead of just having some kind of smart AI algorithm tracking how many boxes they're tracking. Professor Elton Mary created the Hawthorne effect, which says the factor that's most influence in productivity was human relations, not in fact a smart computer that is calculating how many boxes you're packing per hour. And finally, I think McGregor's theory X, which is an authoritarian style of management. Managers tend to take the pessimistic view of their employees. I'll give an example of that at Amazon, which is emails arriving past midnight and text wondering why these emails was not answered. Don't this is meaning that their employees are actually being lazy, they can't be asked to do this at the job, so they're emailing constantly to see if it's been done. And supervised at every step, watched by smart computers to calculate how many boxes they're being packed per minute. I feel like this is another authoritarian style of management. So when they haven't hit enough boxes per hour, they have to go in for a meeting and they're put on a performance review. But yeah, I feel like you could minimize that by having a human relations style, a mentor on site all the time just to talk them through. These are all the materials I've used, my references, Ben Jordan, Anglo Ruskin University, Cambridge. Thank you so much.